Hello everybody, Shocking into 1000 reporting for duty. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Showing you at this title screen to show that the title screen obviously is different depending on how far in the storyline you go. So like if you're exploring Obsidian Fieldlands, it obviously will show Obsidian Fieldlands, same thing with Crimson Mirelands and so forth. But we are at the stage now where we have quelled all the nobles and the sky looks like that. And because the sky looks like that, in the last episode we got sent out of Jubilife Village. We got, as in like we got banished. So, we are not allowed back in Jubilife Village until we can sort out this problem. So this episode, we're going to be doing just that. Starting off of which, there is a side quest down here which you could technically do. Because it's a side quest held by a member of the Diamond Clan. I just realised I did not turn my volume up high enough. There we go. So now that we got the Vibe Pokemon of Braviary, we can actually navigate everywhere a lot faster than we would have done originally with just Weirdeer and then potentially Basculegion when navigating in the water. And another thing when using Braviary as well, with it allowing you to fly overhead of all the Pokemon encounters around here, if on any chance you encounter a shiny, you can catch them by surprise. Okay, so here is the side quest. So this guy, he wants us to bring a Pokemon to that actually has a scythe. So we need to have a Pokemon in our party to complete this quest. And that one Pokemon is Scyther. Just do that. So yeah, you probably would have thought that you would not be allowed to actually gain access to your Pokemon in the pastures, but you actually are. Since you did technically catch them, so you do have ownership of all of the Pokemon. As strange as that is, but no matter. So here you go, there's Scyther. And he's wanting these Raminus roses. He wants Scyther to cut them down so he can give them to his lover. Yeah. When some people are like, oh, they actually like wanting to plant these roses. Okay, I'll find some in the open and then cut them all down and bring them to our garden. That's what men can be like sometimes. And yeah, I can admit, I am male. I do have some certain scenarios where I can think stupid, something stupid or something. But the thing is, I can be intelligent in some ways, like sharing a definition of what is linked to having common sense of. So like depicting something between right and wrong. You know the common sense of to do the right thing. When somebody says you to do something and you then realise, no, that's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to do this kind of thing. So like, say for example, if I was to do my football training sessions, I get told that they want the players to play in a competitive manner in the training sessions. And I'm thinking, okay, I can understand that. But what if they get overly competitive, that they start hurting people? Because they've been doing that the past several weeks. And I just keep being told, no, we want them to play competitively because it helps them for when we go to future tournaments. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's fine. But it doesn't stop them from hurting one another. Especially if you're wanting them to act competitively on the week where we're going to be doing a tournament. So it's like, we do our sessions on Wednesday evenings, and we have a tournament on the Sunday the same week. But if a player gets injured during the training session, how can they play to their full potential in the tournament later on in the week on the Sunday? Because they can't. It's like you're having a player run around at a really fast pace, they collide into somebody and they knock them unconscious. And because they're unconscious, they probably might not be able to wake up for like, say, I don't know, a week or something, which means they're out of the running for the tournament entirely. Or they completely broken their leg entirely. It's like, you know, professional footballers in the stadiums where they do a tackle, but it's so reckless that it almost costs the players their life. Like, when one player tried to kick a ball away from a defender, a defender tries to kick a ball away from a player that's wanting to take a shot at goal, but they kick the ball so high up that they end up kicking the player in the head. And kicking the player in the head forces them to swallow their tongue while they are unconscious, which is a serious risk of them dying. That is the one thing I want to avoid in my football training sessions. But everybody that I keep telling this to disregards everything that I say and says that they want it to happen. They want the players to be competitive, and I'm thinking, that's good. But they get so competitive that they cause serious injury to players that could potentially risk their lives. So, yeah. Anyway, we're talking to Leon here. And I've not really been reading his text dialogue. But here is saying he doesn't want to put Irida in the spot of helping somebody who's been expelled from the Jubilife village. But he does want to help. So he suggests to us Warden Mai of the Diamond Clan. So now we're going to go and see if we can find Warden Mai near the Worn Bridge. We're just going to walk straight over to the Heights camp and fly over the structure of the mountains to save us a little bit of time. If I end up finding a shiny Pokemon while doing this, I'd be completely gobsmacked, to be honest. There's Mai right now. My, what a frightful sky. Such a disturbing sight would be enough to put anyone ill at ease. You don't know what brought this about, do you? I don't know. I suppose it was too much to expect that you could already have an answer to all this. I heard from our leader what happened. You can't return to that village of yours, can you? But I'm afraid the Diamond Clan cannot be the ones to save you. The Diamond Clan could end up at war with the Galaxy team if things went badly. I think you would regret that as much as anyone. The Great Weird Deer took a liking to you. I want to offer you my support, but forgive me, I cannot help you in this. Do not abandon hope. Time solves all things. And besides, you seem to have a talent for making your own way in the world. I have no doubt you will continue to find a path to walk. And upon activating this cutscene, you see a cutscene of your character looking at the pond where you always see the Magikarps. And this scene is actually kind of sweet. Because a Shinx appears, and we get told how Shinx is an intimidating Pokemon. But is giving sympathy to your character, and then running back to a family of 2 Luxios. It's like how when you have a cat, and your cat senses when you're feeling doubt and upset, and they come to you to cheer you up. That's kind of like what Shinx does. Strange events seem to follow you wherever you go, don't they? Found you at last, Bella. I've been looking all over for you, you know. What would I do if I were to lose one of my favourite customers? Don't worry, I've already heard what happened. A good merchant knows well the importance of staying abreast of all the latest news. It seems you're in quite the pinch. No place for you among the Diamond Clan or the Pearl Clan, to say nothing of how poorly the Galaxy team has treated you. But not to worry. There are still corners of the Hisui region where we can stash you away in secret. I know a spot that will be the perfect hideaway. Leave it up to me. Oh no. Here we are. I know, it's no palace, but you know the saying about beggars and choosers. Now prepare to meet a similar character. Shirking your work to come pester me again? Even beneath a bleeding sky, you never change. Always a pleasure, Mistress Kogita. But I'm afraid I'm not here today to learn more of Hisui's myths and legends. No, Mistress, thank you. Just Kogita. And this is... Why, Bella is the woman of the hour. She's the one who quelled the frenzy of all the Pokemon nobles, believe it or not. Ah, the poor wretch you spoke of, lost in time and space. Dear me, lost one. It seems I'll be able to fulfill my duty at long last, thanks to you. Duty? Indeed. I am to guide you, lost one. For the task of preventing great disaster falls to you. The rift in space-time must be mended, lest time and space themselves be thrown out of balance. But come, you may enter my dear hideaway. There's much to be told. Kogita is the ancestor of the Pokemon League champion of the Sinnoh region, Cynthia. She wears a similar outfit as Cynthia does. She has a similar hairstyle, apart from those 2 bangs on the back of her head. And she knows a lot about the myths and folklore about Sinnoh. Exactly the same thing that Cynthia learned when she became Pokemon League champion of the Sinnoh region. The space-time rift is said to be a portal to innumerable other dimensions. In one such realm, far and farther still from ours, dwells Almighty Sinnoh. The expanse from antiquity to eternity, and the expanse of all sides above and below. Time traces the path we tread from the here and now into the future, while space yawns all-encompassingly, surrounding us in every direction. You see, don't you? The two together, time and space, comprise all creation, the universe. How can one claim that either is greater than the other, as those two clans do? I cannot pronounce that word, but I will say that anyway. Perhaps the truth is clear to a wanderer such as you, one who has known other ages. Now listen, lost one. Here is what you must do. I'm just loading up my notes real fast. Okay, see episode 38. And today's date. Oh, today's date is the 19th. Sorry, my organisation skills are not really the greatest in the world. I'll just sit my phone there. Right. Hishui holds 3 lakes of great importance. Lake Ferity, Lake Fala, and Lake Acrity. At each dwells a Pokemon said to embody one aspect of the mind. Complete the trials each will set you, and bear their gifts to the shrouded ruins. There you may receive the red chain. With it, perhaps you can bind the world together. Bind the world, you say? You mean it won't close the rift? Kindly spare me your doubts, young man. I know the old words and what they bid us do. How true they are isn't mine to know. And regardless of their truth, I am bound to pass them on. How callous of my ancestors to leave their legends to the child without a thought for the hardship it would cause them. But here we are. You know your duty, and you'll do it, won't you? Yeah, I will do. There is notably in knowing what must be done and seeing to it. You can see the location of the... We already know where the lakes are, phone! Mistress Cogita's got a lovely workbench here, and if you need materials, I'd be glad to help. I'm always happy to do business with you. What about the pastures? Ah, that is a problem, isn't it? What shall we do about that indeed? What was that cry? Have we now a lost Pokemon as well as a lost child? Do see to it, please. How could I refuse you, ma'am? Off we go. So, you actually recognise that cry. That was the cry of Abra. Hello, hello, it's an Abra. Where did you teleport in from, little one? And it's got a letter. A letter addressed to you, Bella? We take a closer look. To Bella, you may use my Pokemon as a go-between to access the... You may use my Pokemon as a go-between to access the pastures in Jubilife Village. I've also ensured that you'll be able to utilize our base camps without issue. I have every confidence in your ability as an Adept Survey Corps member to bring this bizarre situation under control promptly. Sincerely, Silene. Good tidings from the letter then? I'm saying it's a secret, but not really. Now then, so we're to visit 3 lakes. Doesn't sound like an easy task, that's for sure. It sure would be wonderful to have a kind soul who might help us out. Quite the opportunity, aren't you, Volo? Such a consummate guild merchant. I've managed to reassure my people for now. The wardens are keeping a close eye on their nobles too. Seems all's quiet for the moment. And so, here we are. But still, we'll never get away with openly aiding you. If we were to undermine the commander's direct orders, relations would grow strained. Long story short, we want to help but without drawing attention, so it'll be just one of us. Me or her. It's up to you. Though the answer should be obvious. This determines how the story will play out. Do you go for the Diamond Clan who has a belief of the Bearer of Time? Or the Pearl Clan to follow the Bearer of Space? I give a lot of respect to both of these characters. And I wish I could actually show you both story traits, because it's similar odds no matter what, just with minor differences. For this, I'm going for Irida. Of course you choose me. I was the one who got you what you needed when you first set out to the Quell Cleavor, you and I. Let's say you and I made his bombs together. Just what I would expect of you, Bella. You made the right choice. You won't regret it. So then the leftover leader will... Leftover? Think again. Bella trusts me enough to leave the tough job up to me alone. I'll be keeping an eye on the commander so I can let you all know if anything happens. And the lucky chosen one comes with us to the lakes. We can fill you in on the details as we go. Well, the first task will be to decide which of the Hishui region's 3 Great Lakes to visit first. But yes, we shall get moving. I'd rather we walk this road together, but if the commander were to get a wind of it, it would only make things worse. I'll meet you at whichever lake we choose. Alright, Arida, you and Bella. Well, you two do what needs doing. So we have our missions to visit the lakes of the guardian deities. Where will we be heading first? Now, we know exactly where all the lakes are, but it's telling us to go to Obsidian Fieldlands first. There is also one in the Crimson Mirelands depicted. So basically, you can just tell. These round circle water rings with one standalone land in the middle of it, those are the lakes. So we're going to Obsidian Fieldlands first. And we are going to instantly use Hishuian Braviary to go here, jump up, and then fly again. Now, down in this lake, you can find yourself a guarantee Alpha Gyarados, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, 2 places where you can find yourself a guarantee Alpha Gyarados is beyond crazy, but we're not really interested in Alpha Pokemon right now. What we are interested in is this. They say this lake actually used to be a volcano. Then it erupted, leaving a huge crater that filled with water, and so Lake Verity was born. It is protected by a Pokemon called Mesprit. It was when Mesprit took flight that people first learned the joys and sorrows of living. Or that's how the old tales go anyway. Upon approaching this land, your phone will be, you point it at the rock structure, and upon doing it, create a cavern entrance. That cave, it just appeared from nowhere? Is that the arc phone the professor was going on about? What surprises wait within, I wonder? Mistress Concreta seemed quite intent that you would have to prove yourself to all three of the Pokemon and that guard these lakes. This challenge was never for the faint of heart. Now, you want to decide exactly which Pokemon you want to have as your lead for this, because upon entering the cave, the air feels somehow tense in here. Yeah. Each cave has a menacing Pokemon that stands before you, each guaranteed to be an alpha Pokemon. The one in Obsidian Fieldlands is an alpha Hisuian Goodra. I want to lead off with my Heracross in this. You can actually catch these alpha Pokemon if you want. So upon entering, Goodra here will use a new move that only this form of Goodra can learn, Shelter. It raises the Pokemon's defensive stats and also makes it become obscure, so it's more likely to miss him. I'm going to open up with a Bulk Up so we can at least have Heracross stay alive for a long period of time. Now let's hope we can hit with, yeah, thought so. We missed with Rock Smash. And Goodra hits with a critical hit Iron Tail. Like, literally. This is one thing I hate when it comes to Pokemon. Oh, I actually do not have any healing items, frick. Oh, I actually used to do. I got Hyper Potion. Yeah, I hate it when Pokemon use moves that have a chance to miss, and they never miss, but when I use the move, I always miss. Okay, Goodra is no longer obscured. Seriously, Goodra, miss with Iron Tail is 75% accuracy. Every time I use that move, I miss every turn. Right, let's go for triple arrows. Right, Decidueye. Oh, sorry, this is Decidueye's game point, yeah. Right, let's use one of our 3 Ultra Balls. Did not succeed. Oh, of course. So now you decide to miss when it's going to be not very effective. Right, let's use a Leaden Ball. There we go. It's curious, but when I watch you in your Pokemon battle, I feel as if there's no obstacle that can be overcome if people and Pokemon work together. Now, let's see about that Pokemon of the lake. And here is Mesprit. No Pokemon battle in this. Just gonna walk up and talk. Your emotions, share them with me. Only imagine how it must feel to speak directly with a Pokemon like that. When you fell to this land, what stirred in your heart? Bewilderment. How did it feel to bond with Pokemon and work together? Heartening. What did you feel when you mingled with Hishui's clans? It's a wide word. Oh, somebody's calling me and it's looks like a scam number. Sorry, I'm gonna have to like look this up. I always research scam. Yeah, I always look up phone numbers of people that ring me if I do not recognize them. So let's see. Yeah, it's a scam number. Block the caller. There we go. Right. What did we feel when cast out of the Galaxy team? Did we feel bitter? Life is complicated? I accepted it. We would say life is complicated because honestly I would have felt bitter being like I'd done all the work that was tasked on me to do because they couldn't be bothered doing it themselves and we get kicked out because of it. But honestly, life has no boundaries. And upon doing that, we get rewarded. Mesprit has given us her plume. Well, its plume. Basically, we do not know for definite what gender the legendary guardians are. Now, we have actually gone over the time limit, so we're going to be continuing this cutscene in the next episode, alright? See you guys then.